Hey guys, so in the last class we talked about searching in a nutshell, and we said that searching is essentially you want to look up an item in a search space using some algorithm. So those are the three essential components of searching. Then we said that we as computer scientists are interested in making this algorithm to search faster, right? And then we said that your ability to make this algorithm faster is typically dependent on the properties of the search space. So your search space will dictate whether you can optimize your searching, right? Binary search is one such algorithm which is faster than your regular linear search. So in this video, we will basically be looking at binary search, and in particular, we will be talking about when you can apply binary search. So that's the first question that we will try to answer. Now, from the last video, you can see that this will typically depend on the search space. If the search space follows certain criteria, then probably you will be able to apply binary search on it. Once you know that binary search is applicable on the search space, what all can you search for using that binary search? That's the next question that we will try to answer. And then once we know that binary search can be applied, and you know that whatever binary search enables you to search for, that is really what you're looking for, then we will look at how you can implement binary search. So this is the agenda for today. We will talk about these three things. So let's begin by first trying to answer the first two questions, which is when can you apply binary search? And assuming you can apply binary search, what all can you search? So to understand or to really get down into the details of this, let's just take some digression to understand a couple of terminologies. First thing we will try to understand is something that we call as predicate. So predicates are nothing but functions that give Boolean output. So essentially we know what a function is. Function is nothing but a mapping from some set to some input set to some output set. Now if that output set is only 2, which is either true or false or 0 or 1, then that function is what we call as a predicate. So predicates are a specific type of function where the range is Boolean, right? So let's take a couple of examples. Let's say this function fx is x greater than 5. This is clearly a predicate, right? Why? Because this, for any number, this will either give you a true or a false. For instance, f1 will give you a false, f2 will give you a false, f100 will give you a true, right? So this is a predicate. Similarly, let's take another example. For instance, let's say fx is x not equals 7. This is also a predicate, right? For instance, f2 will be false. Anything other than f7 will be false. Anything other than f7 will be true, right? Only for 7 will be false. So this is a predicate. Another example, for instance, let's say fx is x plus 5. Is this a predicate? No, this is not a predicate, right? Why? Because this is not giving you only 2 outputs. This is giving you more than 2 outputs. You can easily see that f1 is 6, f2 is 7, f minus 3 is 2, right? So it gives you more than 2 outputs. So this is not a predicate. Predicates are functions that give you binary output, 2 outputs, which we can logically call them true, false, we can call them 0, 1, we can call them something else. Next thing, next terminology. So this is what we call as predicates. This is the first terminology. The next terminology is, what does it mean to apply a predicate on a search space? So this basically means that you take the entire search space, and for every item in the search space, you define whether you apply the predicate on it. So which means you get either a true or a false. So for instance, let's say this is your search space, which has items I1, I3, I4, so on till Ik. Applying a predicate, let's say you have a predicate f, some predicate, let's say x greater than 5. Applying a predicate, applying f on this search space S basically means nothing but defining the predicate for every element in the search space. So defining fi1, fi2, fi3, fi4, and so on till fik. Right? Let's take an example to understand this better. So for instance, let's say your search space is, let's say 5 elements, 1, 3, 9, 2, 7. Let's say this is your search space, and let's say your predicate is the same predicate, x greater than 5. So applying the predicate on this search space basically is nothing but defining. So f1 is false because 1 is not greater than 5. f3 is false because it is not greater than 5. f9 is true. f2 is again false, and f7 is true. So now we have applied the predicate on this search space. So this is what is called applying the predicate on a search space. So now with both these terminologies defined and understood, we can now talk about or answer these two questions, which is when can you apply binary search, and assuming you can apply binary search, what all can you search for? So let's look at that now. So I'll just write down the entire statement, and then we will try to deconstruct the statement and understand this. So binary search on a search space with some ordering of the elements of the search space can be applied if and only if, now this is the crux, there exists some predicate P such that Px implies Py for all y greater than x. And then further, the last statement is, using this predicate on this search space, you can find the last f or the first t. This is the entire statement. We will deconstruct this and we will try to understand all of this. So, but this is like a lot of information at this point in time. So first things first, you have a search space, right? So you have some search space with some items in the search space, right? General, just we are taking a very generic search space. It can be anything. You can store it in an array, you can store it anywhere. That's not the point, but the point is you just have a search space with a set of items in it, right? Now we say that first things first, define some ordering of the elements of the search space. Define some ordering, any ordering. So let's say I choose to order my elements I1, I2, I3, and so on till Ik. So I say that my ordering is this, which means I2 comes after I1, I3 comes after I2, Ik comes after Ik minus 1, Ij comes before Ij plus 1. Right? So this is the ordering that I have defined. So now once you define some ordering, the statement says that if you can come up with some predicate such that this condition holds, then you can apply binary search on this search space with this ordering. So some predicate which can give you this property. We will try to understand the property also. Don't worry about it. Let's take a couple of examples to understand this more. So let's say your search space has elements, let's say 2, 3, 11, 29, 1, 5, and again a 2. So let's say this is your search space. First of all, what we will do, we will define some ordering of this search space. Right? So let's say now I choose to define the elements in the ordering in an increasing order. So then I say that this is my ordering: 1, 2, 2, 3, 5, 11, and 29. So let's say this is the ordering that I define. Now, if you are able to come up with some predicate such that this condition holds, then binary search is applicable. Let's say, for the sake of argument, I define some predicate. Let's say the predicate is x less equals, or let's say x greater equals 5. Let's say this is the predicate that I define. Let's first evaluate the predicate on the, or apply the predicate on this search space. Let's first do that. So if you apply the predicate on this search space, this effectively reduces to, is 1 greater equals 5? No. So this is a false. Is 2 greater equals 5? No. Again a false. Is 2 greater equals 5? False. Is 3 greater equals 5? False. 5 greater equals 5? Yes. 11? Yes. 29? Yes. So once you apply the predicate, this is on the search space, this is what you get. Now this theorem or this statement essentially says that if the predicate is true for some x, then for any y greater than x, it will also be true. Right? This is, what is this? This is if px, then py for all y greater than x. So if px, if the predicate evaluates to true for some x, then for every y which is greater than x, which is to the right of x, the predicate will also evaluate to true. This is what is the meaning of this statement. So what does that mean here? Let's take some x. Let's say this is the x, right? This green one. Yeah, you can clearly see that the predicate evaluated to true. So this theorem or this statement says that anything to the right of x, anything greater than x also, it should evaluate to true, which is the case. You can see this, right? For this also it is true. For this also it is true. On the other hand, if you take this as your x, which means 2 as your x, then this is not applicable, right? Because you only say that if px, then py. You don't comment anything about if x is false, if px is false, right? So you can clearly see that on this search space, with this ordering, with this predicate, you can apply binary search. Let's take one more example to drive home this point. Let's say you have a search space. Again, let's take some elements. Let's say you take 7, 8, 9. Let's say you take 2, 5, 6. Let's say these are your elements. First things first. So this is your search space. Let's see if we can apply binary search on it. If yes, what? So let's first come up with an ordering, right? So first things first, we will try to come up with an ordering. Let's say I tell you that I want to keep this ordering 7, 8, 9, 2, 5, 6. Let's say I define this ordering or choose this ordering. Now with this ordering on this search space, I can apply binary search if I am able to come up with a predicate such that if the predicate evaluates to true for some element, then for all the elements to the right of it, it should also evaluate to true. What can be one such predicate? Can I define this predicate? Let's say Px is x less equals 6. If I define this predicate, let's see how this turns out. Let's apply the predicate on this search space first. So when you apply it, you get an f because 7 is not less equals 6, 8 is also not, 9 is also not. But 2 is less equals 6, 5 is less equals 6, and 6 is also less equals 6. So once you've applied the predicate on this search space, now you can pick any x. Let's say you pick this x. You can see if you Px is true for this x, and for any y which is greater than x, Py is also true. Right? You can take any other x also. If you take this x, let's say 5, then also you can easily check that for this Px, this is true, which means, and for any y greater than this, the predicate also evaluates to true. So with this predicate on this search space, with this ordering, you can apply binary search. Let's take one more example. Let's say for the same example, if I choose some other predicate, just for the sake of argument, let's say I choose some predicate like x less equals 5. Let's say I choose this predicate. Let's see, apply the predicate on this search space. So if you apply the predicate on this search space, what will you get? For 7, you will get a false because 7 is not less equals 5. For 8 also, 9 as well. For 2, you will get a true because it is less equals 5. For 5 also, you will get a true. For 6, again, you will get a false. Now, with this predicate on this search space, with this particular ordering, is binary search applicable? Take any x. Let's say you take, again, let's say you take 2 as your x. So Px evaluates to true, which means that the statement says that for any y which is greater than x, Py should also evaluate to true. But you can check that it is not the case, for instance, for this y. If you take y as 6, Py is false, even though 6 is to the right of 2. Right? So with this predicate, you cannot apply binary search. But with this predicate, you can apply binary search. Right? So does that, I think that should make sense, this particular part of the statement. So one last time, you can see, I'll just summarize this. We are trying to understand, can we apply binary search on a search space? So first things first, what we say is define some ordering of the elements of the search space, any ordering. You will see that you can only define certain types of ordering, but any ordering with a particular ordering on a search space, can you apply binary search? So there we try to say that it can be applied if you can define some predicate such that your search space reduces to a series of f followed by a series of t. So your search space reduces to some number of 0 or more f and then 0 or more t's. Then binary search is applicable. Because you can see that this sequence will satisfy this condition, which is because you are getting all the t's after all the f's, you know that for any y which is to the right of a particular x, you will get a t if you got a t for that x. Right? And the other part, which is this part, that if you take any x which comes down to false, for any y less than x, you should get a false. Right? That part can be explained by taking the contrapositive of this. Like, I'll not go into the details of this, but if you take the contrapositive of this, this is basically not py implies not px for all y greater than x. So that means that if y is false, then for all the x less than y, px should also be false. So that's basically the condition. Condition is some ordering of the search space if you can come up with a predicate such that you get a series of f's followed by a series of t's. The next part of the statement tells us, defines the scope of what all can you search on this search space with this ordering, with this predicate. So that basically they tell you that you can search for the last f or the first t only. So in this sequence, you can either search for the last f, which is this element, whatever is the element corresponding to this, or the first t, whatever is the element corresponding to this. You can only search for these two elements. So for instance, if you take this example with this predicate x greater equals 5, you know that binary search is applicable because you get a series of f's followed by a series of t's. You can check, you can only search for 3 and 5. You cannot search for anything else because 3 is the last f and 5 is the first t. If you take this example with this predicate x less equals 6, you can only search for 9 or 2, nothing else, using this predicate with this order. Right? So that's basically the crux of the statement. So solving any binary search problem will involve the following steps. First things first, you need to come up with an ordering of the search space. Just define some ordering, and that you will see how that ordering will influence whether you can solve the problem using binary search or not. But come up with an ordering of the search space. Define a predicate on the search space such that when you apply applying the predicate on the search space, you get f series of f's, 0 or more f's followed by series of t's. This is what in regular expressions we call it f star t star. 0 or more f's followed by 0 or more t's. So it can be all t's also. So this is also valid. Or it can be all f's also. This is also valid. So define a predicate such that when you apply the predicate on the search space, you get a series of f's followed by a series of t's. And then find you can only find two things, either the last f or the first t. And if using the last step or the first T you are able to solve the problem, then the ordering, the predicate, both of them are fine. So any binary search problem, you should think about the ordering, how you should order the search space. Once you have an ordering, the thing to keep in mind in terms of like defining the ordering is, you will only, you know that from that ordering you will only get the last step or the first T, right? So the last step or the first T should solve you the original problem. That's how you can define the ordering. And once you have that ordering, come up with some predicate which gives you F star T star pattern, then find the last step for the first T, and you know that it will solve the original problem because that's how you came up with that ordering. Right? So let's just summarize this. I think a lot of content we covered today, but we are trying to understand binary search. So we are trying to answer some questions. First is, we know that whether you can efficiently optimize a searching algorithm or whether you can search faster is dependent on the search space, on the properties of the search space. So the first thing that we try to answer is, when can you apply binary search? And the answer to that was, come up with some ordering of the search space and apply the predicate. If you are able to come up with some predicate such that when you apply the predicate on the search space, you get a series of Fs followed by a series of Ts, then cool, you can apply binary search on that search space. Next question you answer is, okay, cool, now I know that I can apply binary search. What all can I find? That's the next question. What all can you find? So there it says that you can only find the last F or the first T. You cannot find anything else. And then we talked about what is the general strategy for solving any binary search problem. So we said that first things first, you will have to come up with some ordering of the search space. That ordering should be in such a way that the last F or the first T of that order should solve you the problem, right? So the ordering in such a way that last F or first T solves the original problem. However, like you can combine it, or it is actually the solution, whatever it is. And once you have that ordering, come up with some predicate such that you get an F star T star pattern, which means for any X, if you get it true, for all Y's greater than that X, you should get a true. For any X, if you get a false, for all Y's less than X, you should get a false. And then you know that you are looking for the last F or the first T, then you can simply apply. So happy coding. Right? So in the next class, what we will do is, we will now look at the code for binary search, and we will look at an example to understand this entire theory that we covered today better.